Well, you can put it in the
keep
shop.
it here.
You can sell in my shop.
Your shop.
Sell me all your art things in the shop.
I mean, I have a box of stock, but I'm going to burn it. So.
Is that what that's for? Typical artist.
How are you?
I'm great, thanks. Yeah, caffeinated already, so head of the game.
I did have a look. I tried to think how long it had been since you were last here. And it's been over a year.
It's been over a year,
Yeah.
so it was just after the WITA showcase.
Yeah.
So it's probably almost directly a year.
Almost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's not a bad timing.
Yeah.
I managed to do the same when I had Richard and Melon
Yeah.
the other week. Because Richard, I think it had just been a year for Richard or something like that.
Yeah.
So it was
That's a nice
kind
gap.
of nicely.
Does feel like it was not that long ago though.
I mean, it's only a year.
This has been
People say a
nice.
year's a big thing, but it's not.
Like this year's gone by really quickly.
Well,
It's kind of just
we're
happened in a
April
flash,
already,
and
aren't
I'm
we?
like, what just happened? I don't get what just happened. It's been mental.
It's like month 4.
Is it really? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Sweet
And before you know it, it'll be September.
lord. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And then it'll be Christmas again.
Quickly. No, I'm doing that. I don't care. I don't really celebrate Christmas. So
I mean, I don't even have children, and that's why I equate the year. I'm like, it'll be summer soon, and then it'll be September.
yeah, my children are always really disappointed because I'm just like, it's Christmas, so what? We're not having decorations. We're not doing anything. Although I did buy some really nice vintage Christmas decorations this year, and I was like, right, I'm going to decorate, and then I just didn't get a chance. So
I decorated a small bit. I bought a Christmas gnome,
ooh.
but then I decided
Did you
that
name him though?
no,
Ugh,
but I
don't
decided
count.
he's not a Christmas gnome, so he's just
Right.
out still.
It's just a regular
Yeah,
gnome.
he's just a gnome on my mantelpiece.
Just maybe a bit festive.
Yeah,
Mm.
you know, throw up a few cards.
Why
I'd
not?
have a tree. Who the hell am I putting it up for? I live alone.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like, you put it all up and then just take it back down again.
Yeah.
It just seems pointless. I've got better shit to do on my time. Trying to be efficient.
Christmas is just such a waste of time.
Like, what, just put it up and take it down again? Makes no sense. Yeah.
See.
Yeah.
Okay. So as we said, it's been a year since the last WITA showcase.
Yes. Well, the first WITA
Well, the first WITA showcase.
Yeah.
The one which I attended.
Yeah.
And then you've just done another one.
Yeah, we did have one in July after the first one as well, but sweet mother of Jesus, it was absolutely boiling in the Blue Room. They've got like, they can't crack a window or anything, and I was wearing a top hat. It was just, everyone was just melting, couldn't breathe. Like one of our singers nearly passed out. It was horrendous. I was like, no, never doing
don't
this
do that
again.
again.
So we're just having once a year, big extravaganza, like birthday celebration because it's our sort of launch, and International Women's Day celebration. One a year, that's all you're getting. I can't do any more.
It makes a lot of sense.
It really does. It's like, we should do 4 of these a year. No. Just the one. So yeah, that was the beginning of WITA.
Nice. But it's you've essentially undergone like a lot of change in the last year. Because like back when we had our last interview, Mel and Sarah were still involved and everything like that.
Yeah.
But now is it just you?
It's just me.
Yeah. Because it's the thing, like, I hear like little bits, but being outside of everything, I never get like the full information. I'm like, things are just carrying on. So things are going on, I can't attend any of it. So.
Yeah, so something's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, then there was one. But we've still got like the sort of core, like, WITA coven, as we call them.
Okay.
So we do, it's not just me, I do have help from sort of volunteers and different people help out with like social media, the photography or the cakes and so like the last showcase was a big volunteer effort because I was just like, I can't do it on my own, guys. Yeah. And everyone's been like really lovely and stepped up and helped out, and kind of as time's gone on, things have got a little bit easier because I've got into the swing a bit more and know I'm doing more with it. So it's kind of become not this big emotional thing like the first one where we were all kind of exhausted and passing out on the pavement. Like now it's kind of like, done, did it. Yeah, so yeah, it's not as bad now. But the last year has been absolutely crackers.
Yes. It's looked crackers.
Events.
From the outside, it's looked a bit crackers.
Just my life looks crackers from the outside. Now and again, I'm like, trying to think about like all the stuff that I do from like an outsider's perspective, and I'm just like, wow, what's she doing now? Do you know what I mean? Like she She's just bonkers. She doesn't stop.
I mean, I never really question it because I'm the same.
So Love it. Great.
I just kind of look at it and I'm like, that makes perfect
sense. Exactly. Of course.
Why would you question that?
Well, there you go. Yeah, that's the best way to do it. That's what I tried to do.
Some people come along and they're like, "Oh, you're doing another thing." I'm like, "Yeah."
Like, you were just doing that. Oh, never mind.
I found this nugget of free time, and I was like, I could put something.
Well, no, me and James were discussing this. It's like you need a project to move on to when you're still doing an existing project.
Okay.
Because, like, procrastination is a big thing. So when I'm, like, in a project...
Yeah.
I kind of try and put it off a bit, and I don't want to do everything. So if I've got a bigger project to aim for, then the things I have to do for the current project don't seem as big. Okay. So I'm just like, I just need to do that to get that out the way so that I can then go and do that. And then the other thing becomes the big thing, and then I need another thing. So it's just a constant.
Yeah, I kind of get that. I do that with projects where I procrastinate by being productive.
Exactly. Yeah. You're like, I shouldn't be doing this, but this is fun.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't be doing it, so therefore...
Yeah.
feel good about it.
I mean, it's like, so I'm trying to finish my book in a minute, but instead I've been making cardboard shapes. I'm like, I should be working on my book. I should be reading drafts and proofreading.
I should be, but that's who's saying you should be. It's you
but this
that's
idea,
saying you should be.
Yeah. You got to set yourself deadlines.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what's the point?
Yeah. Nothing ever goes to deadline. Ever.
I see mine does.
How do you do it?
I sacrifice a lot of my health.
I do that as well, and I still don't make deadlines.
But then I think, see, this is...
You probably make sensible deadlines.
I mean, they are well planned.
Yeah,
I don't plan how to get there. I just go, that's about right. Time-wise, scale-wise, how long it took me last time.
Yeah.
Doing bits like, I mean, I set myself the deadline of, like, end of last month to get the first draft done.
Yeah.
But I gave myself 2 months.
See, that's sensible.
And I'd already, I've been drawing it for like a year. So I was just like, I just need to collate it.
Yeah, that's sensible. Yeah. That seems like a very sensible, methodical way of working. Oh, you've got a chin on camera. I loved you. Is it CE4?
Yeah.
I got one too.
Yeah, I've had like 5
camera
of those.
Twins.
Yeah. It was the first camera I ever had.
I think it might be my first digital film SLR.
Every time it breaks, I just buy another.
Yeah, it's got a really great tone to it as well. Although, did you find the wind-on feature?
Yeah, that's what goes.
Jammed.
That's what breaks.
Oh, Jewel drives me nuts.
You either like that or your shutter button will go. Like it'll just stop depressing one day.
Yeah.
Because the electronics is like
it's
crap.
The battery, I think. Yeah.
I want to take one to pieces and try and figure it
out. I took the lens to pieces. That didn't work out too well.
I tried to fix the shutter in one and I couldn't get it out, so I ended up just hitting with a ham.
Yeah. I'm not good at fixing things. It's a great camera though.
It is.
Love it. Anyway,
back to the point.
Back to stuff and things. Yeah, deadlines. No, I'm like, I'll do it in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, I'll do it in 2 weeks. And I won't do it in 2 weeks, or I will. I don't know. It depends what it is.
Maybe you just need to extend that and go 4 weeks. I'll do it in 4 weeks.
Just seems
so then
like
you
a
just
waste
double
of time.
But then if you already know you're going to miss your deadline, you may as well just extend the deadline.
That's why I'm constantly running around like...
Or does missing the deadline make you work harder?
I can't do it. It does push me to work harder, but I constantly feel like I'm failing. Which just pushes me to work harder again, so it all works out. It's fine.
Fear is a powerful motivation. I'm going to fail. I need to do more.
Coffee. I was doing really well after I sort of like moved away from Lincoln just after Christmas, after New Year, and it took like 3 or 4 weeks, and I did nothing, almost nothing. And I was like relaxed. I was going for walks. It was really calm and nice. I was like, I'm just going to do this for a year. I'm just going to chill out. And then like the showcase had been booked for March, and so had a exhibition, and so had the Poetry in the Sea project. So that all happened in March, and I was like, oh, better get on then, haven't I? And then I haven't stopped since then. So I've just resigned myself to the fact that I'm not the type of person that can do nothing.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad trait.
Like it's fun, like to do nothing, just relax. I was creating, I was drawing and writing.
Is it fun though?
I mean, it is.
I find it frustrating.
If it's the only thing.
Yeah.
Like it's nice, it's novel for a bit, and then it's like...
If it's for like a week, and you're away from everything, so you know you can't contact anything, that's fun. Mm-hmm. But if I'm home and doing nothing, that's...
I can like come to Lincoln, do stuff, and then I can fuck off and go live in the middle of nowhere for the week and just like get some space.
How is living out on the sticks?
It's nice. Yeah. It's really nice. Yeah. I have to walk like an hour to the bus stop across a field. There's like nothing. There's absolutely nothing there. And yeah, it's just really nice. Yeah. I'll get like all het up with like stress of something, or if something's not going to plan, I'll get all stressed out and I'll just go for a walk and I'm like, breathe. Chill. And nobody walks along the fields. Like, it's completely abandoned. Like, nobody's there. There's like nice river and the fields just go for miles and miles and miles, and it's just me and the animals, and I'm just like, hey guys.
How long you been there now?
Since the end of January, I think.
Okay, so you've got summer to come to experience summer out there.
Mm-hmm. Summer's gonna be fun. Either that, or I'm not gonna be able to get anywhere because I'll get burnt to a crisp trying to get to the village. Yeah, that is the one you are not protected. Mm-hmm. And I was just like CrossFit. I'm gonna be like, if you have me on in the next like few months, I'll just be like brown or red because I don't go brown. So yeah, but it really helps kind of bring me back down and ground me and calm me, and like I can get work done there and it's nice and quiet, and then I can chill out for a bit and then I can come back, socialise and do all that stuff, and then go recharge, which I need, because living in Lincoln, as much as I love Lincoln, full time, there's always something to do, there's always something for me to go to, there's always events I want to support and people I want to see, and it would just be constant all the time, and I loved it, but my body did not. It's just not sustainable. So, yeah.
See, that's where you just put yourself on nights, and then you can't do any of those things. So every day is relaxing.
So, yeah, but the thing is, like, I'd be working all day doing, like, marketing or, you know, laptop-based work.
Yeah.
And then in the evenings, I'd be going out to support events. Yeah. So it's from when I wake up till when I pass out at night. Or the early hours of the next morning. Yeah. So it was just constant. Yeah. So
how did Poetry in the City come about? Because that seemed to pop up just,
well,
I mean, randomly to me, but then I'm on the outside of it.
Yeah, it was fairly quick happening once we launched it.
Yeah.
So basically, Lincoln Big announced the fact that they were going to be having this fund called the Lincoln Creates Fund.
Okay.
And it was to sort of encourage artists and businesses to work together to make the city a nicer place and kind of promote local business and promote local artists. And, well, getting poetry around the city is something I wanted to do for a long time. And it's something I got quite frustrated about over the years, because I'd speak to people, try and find out how I'd go about doing it, and speaking to council and things like that. And I just couldn't get anywhere with it. And so for the Lincoln Big proposal, it was a grant of up to £5,000.
Okay.
And I was like, right, I know enough venues and enough venue owners, I know enough poets.
Yep.
Let's see if we can get something together. And I wanted to get poetry on the outside of venues, but then you're looking at planning permission, and it gets almighty complicated, and especially with a £5,000 budget, that's not going to happen. So I was like, well, we could install them on the walls and have like a permanent installation of like part of a poem that was commissioned for that venue by a poet that has some experience of that venue, or it's part of their journey as a poet. So I looked at the venues and the poets, and so we ended up with Mel, obviously, Melody Clark, for The Angel, because of everything that happened with Crash Course and the brilliant work that they did there. And then we have Victoria Martin at Lincoln Drill Hall. She performed with me at an event there, and I think that was her first paid poetry gig.
Nice.
And she's just a fantastic poet. And obviously, Lincoln Drill Hall was well, maybe not obviously to everybody, but Lincoln Drill Hall was the place that we ran the first sort of like set spoken word night a few years ago. So it's got quite a big part of the local spoken word scene.
Historical draw.
Yeah. Then we have Miranda Kerr for the Birdcage, because that's where she started performing poetry. She's only recently come into it, but it's had a big impact on her life. And the Birdcage is obviously first Wednesday of every month, Uncaged at the Birdcage, Ron Booth. So they've got a big part of the local poetry journey. And we have Mansions of the Future, who are really supportive of, just the arts in general, but they are quite keen to promote poetry. Rebecca, that sort of runs it, she was head of National Poetry Day for a few years. So,
right, that makes sense.
Yeah, they've been running some poetry events there. And Ruth Charnock, who we commissioned for that one, she's an artist, not in residence, she's an associate artist, and she has one of the studios there. And then I commissioned myself to do
just casual, just like, will you do this?
I was like, I want to do the brewer. Wait, do I have to commission myself? I was like, well, I won't get paid. It'll be fine. I'll just... Yeah, so I did the brewer. I was like, this is my home. This is where I started off. This is where I did my first performance. And just in general, I've met so many incredible people through the brewer. And it's such a brilliant place that I was like, yes, I need to pay homage to the brewer. And so my poem's about the Jolly Brewer.
Okay.
So we're still kind of in the middle of the project at the moment.
Okay.
So we've commissioned the poets, we have installed the poems, which was fun because I had to do it kind of on my own. James helped me. We were going to get a professional signer to do it, and then they didn't have the time, so I had to learn how to
how to sign.
Become a professional installer of vinyl lettering, which
it's hassle.
It was, I don't know, it was kind of fun.
Okay.
It was fun, but then like for the drill hall, that install's massive.
Yeah.
It's on a huge wall, so we had to go on a cherry picker, and like it was like wobbling at the top, and we're like trying to like adhere like the massive word of like poetry to the wall, like thinking we're gonna fall off. So it was interesting. Yeah. It was fun. So those installs have gone up, and I've produced the brochure. We're on a second print run for that, and that contains all the poems. And we're producing short poetry films at the moment. Okay. So we should have had them out by now. We've had a little bit of a delay. So we're a little bit behind with those, but they'll be coming out shortly. So there'll be the full poem, the poet performing the full poem for each venue, and they'll be going out on socials and stuff as well.
Are they like portrait kind of videos? Or
just
more like abstract
sort of, just like the person performing it, and then like little cutaways of like the venue and everything, because it's a big celebration of the venues themselves as well. So they'll be released. So that was that's the last kind of WITA project that I've got. No, that's a lie. I've just had a meeting. I think that's a lie.
No, but this is like the last one finished off for the bit kind of thing.
There's no last one. I always say after this one, I'm going to have a break, and then I never do because something else comes up. Okay. So I'm working on something with the Blue Room to develop women writers, women directors, women playwrights. So I'm working on that project at the moment, but that'll probably be September. Mm-hmm. So we've tried loads of different things, I think, in the first year of WITA. We tried, we had the craft and chat, a drop-in session, which did do really well, but it's a bit difficult because we need a volunteer from Mint Lane to be in the cafe space, and they have a few issues with availability for the volunteer, so we haven't been able to continue with it at the moment. Yep. But that was really great. We met a lot of interesting people through that that have become part of the community. We've been doing the networking events, which are great. They're just like absolutely crackers. We all just cry and eat cake. It's so weird. It's so weird. It's like, this is networking. Why are we all like sharing our personal stories? We're all like, it just becomes a big therapy session, but you leave feeling like really just like, I don't know, like emotional and overwhelmed, but also
you shouldn't
supported.
Call it networking. You should just call it cry and eat cake.
Crying. I don't know if people will come if we called it cry and eat cake.
Cry and eat cake, and everyone's like, maybe.
Just make the cake soggy because and it's just weird. I think because it's our only all women event. Yeah. Everything else is open to everybody else. Yeah. And I think that because we go around the room and because we talk to each individual person, we're all sort of sat round. Oh, ice cream. And we all get to have a chat. Just giving somebody that time and that platform to just go, we're listening to you. We're not just waiting to speak. We are genuinely listening to you, and we want to hear what you've got to say, what you're doing, any problems that you come across, or if you're looking to collaborate and things like that. And so we're just all genuinely interested in what everybody's doing. And so a lot of people don't get the opportunity, especially if they're anxious or shy, in general day-to-day life, to have a space where everyone just shuts up and we listen to them for as long as they need to.
Yeah.
And they're like terrified, but then they're like,
miss a network.
Well, I can say anything here, and that's it. It's like completely safe space. Nothing goes on.
Yeah.
Like past the walls. Like anything that's said doesn't go on after that. And it's just it just gets like real deep, real quick, and we're like, this is hard. This is difficult. I'm so glad there's so much cake everywhere. So we've got the next one of that coming up this month on the 16th. So.
Fair enough.
So yeah, we've had tea cake and meat. What else have we had? We had a Halloween gig, which was amazing. It was like punk rock, women bands. We had Striped Sight and Boats at Liquor on Halloween.
I feel like I remember seeing something about that.
That was
great. But again, I worked Halloween.
That was brilliant. Yeah, you're always working, bless you.
I know. That's what keeps me honest.
Really? We had a Christmas fair. We did that. Yeah. That was really good. We gave everyone free stalls and was just like, go for it. Let's have a bit of a mad one. That was fun.
So with you, I guess with the view to like the next half of the year and whatever, are you going to try and repeat these events? Like,
there's some things that we're going to continue,
drop a couple?
And some things that we're going to modify or get rid of. And so it's just been a bit of a testing ground really.
Yeah.
So I think networking will continue every 3 months because I can't handle it any more often than that. It's too emotional. Like every 3 months.
Yeah.
And then showcase once a year.
Mm-hmm.
And it's difficult because kind of coming to this point now with WITA's quieting down, and then I've got a new project and that's taking off. But so with WITA, the whole point of it was to raise the equality, raise the balance. Do you raise a balance? Anyway.
Level the balance?
Thank you. Level the balance? I don't know.
Equalizer.
Do something. Yeah. The whole point was to take an underrepresented group and bring them up to the level that the whole community's at.
Yeah.
So through what we've done over the last year, it's gone from kind of like having no community and no network and everything to this huge community that all support each other, and we've had more women getting into music, we've had more artists come forward, we've seen the effects of it, and now because it's grown so much, it kind of starts to feel like a bit of a dominant force in like the arts locally, because we just don't stop.
I did want to ask about that. Kind of like, is there been, I mean, obviously when something takes off quite quickly with anything, there's always going to be a negative effect. Have you had, like, do you feel like there's been a negative effect of work?
I don't think there's been a negative effect. I think it's
like
just been
unexpected kind of.
It's just a lot of learning. It's a lot of learning curves, you know. I mean, I haven't been involved in anything of that scale before.
Yeah.
And it has been a lot of work, and it's been really enjoyable. But there have been, you know, things that you come across, situations you come across. You know, I had to curate an exhibition. I've never curated an exhibition in my freaking life. I've never run a craft fair in my life, you know. So there's a lot of large and small issues that you need to look at, and that come out of nowhere and you go, oh shit, I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just in the sort of general organisational side of it, there's been a lot of problems where I'm like, oh, how do I sort this out? So looking back, there's things that I would have done differently, but until you come across those problems, you don't know how to solve them going forward. So
I guess in a way I'm kind of like, I'm thinking of it more in terms of so like, you know, with obviously when you get like, let's say you get a musician, the musician's obviously on stage a lot, they put out a message and then blow up, and then usually with musicians there's a lot of media attention about the message they're sending, and they forget that when it goes out to a larger audience, different people react to different things. So when you get something like WITA, it's going to have that ripple effect within kind of things which you can't plan for, because you obviously never like expect it to happen, or you just don't think it would happen in a way.
Do you sort of mean that like the community at large outside of WITA?
I mean, like for instance, so obviously women in the arts, you put a lot of time and effort into searches and marketing and all that kind of thing. So now if you search female artist in Lincoln, you get WITA instead of individuals. so to speak. So it's kind of like it's a blanket barrier, which obviously the whole point of WITA is to promote female artists anyway. Yeah. So you end up just going through that.
I think, we kind of wanted to be that initial landing point for people that are looking to book more equally and responsibly, and things like that. So, part of our artist directory on the website, or if people are looking for something in particular, they come to us and email us. And so the people that we know about will either suggest people, or we'll put it in our Facebook group or a Facebook page and Instagram, things like that, where we can. And the community's open to anyone, it's not a membership thing, it's open to absolutely everybody. So when we put opportunities out there and we promote people or promote like job opportunities and things like that goes out to everybody. And so anyone that sort of follows us can benefit from that, even if they're not a woman, or, we have a large community that's not just women. So I see what you mean, but I'd like to think that we can facilitate access to people, and we don't kind of like block anybody from being in our community.
I guess it's one of those things of kind of like you end up becoming kind of like an unexpected gatekeeper because of the success of it. Like if it slowly built over like a few years, it would have been like a gradual interruption, but because it's got huge so quick, it becomes a kind of like a boom, it's there, and everyone's like, oh.
I feel like they're like gatekeeper wise, like the gate's not locked, and like everyone's got a copy of the key, and they just come and go as they please, because it's very, very open in that respect. But I think because, like you say, it's gone kind of just come out of nowhere and developed so quickly, I think that we've achieved a lot in the last year, and to the point, like I was saying, that it's become kind of a dominant force, and the whole point was never to become a dominant force. A dominant force in the community. The whole point was to equal the community. So when it came up that we were offered this opportunity to take on a shop, they said, I want to offer it to WITA first. And I said, well, I'll take it, but it's not going to be a WITA shop. Because I feel that we've built up women in the community, and that we've raised that level, and now I want it to integrate. Because WITA's so big, there's now like a minority like that are like, well, I can't get involved because I'm a man and I want to do stuff in the arts, and there's no real like group for me, so what am I supposed to do? And I'm like, well, one, welcome to our world. Not so fun now, is it? But I see what you mean, and I want, I want to do what's beneficial for the whole community. I'm not just focused on women. It was the fact that there was such an inequality that it really did need focusing on. But now there's all these really strong, empowered women out there like really going for it, and it's absolutely brilliant. And the men are like, what's happening? What this is scary. I'm like, well, just come on, like let's just all crack on and let's do some cool shit. So like the last showcase was like the start of a revolution. It was intense. We had a lot of speakers, and there's a lot of women doing a lot of sort of leading locally. Things like the Save the Usher gallery. That's Fiona Hodges. She came to us through a TK Can Meet networking event.
I'll not talk to you about that.
Cake and Cry. I think you're right. And Suzanne Marshall, who started the Girl Gang group. Kirsty Smith, who's like really involved in local politics and national politics. And so the last showcase was like, by the end of it, we were all ready to march somewhere. Like we were all like, yes, we can do stuff. And there was like, what do we do with all this energy? I don't know. So there's a lot of women leading things, and I think that I never want WITA to become an entity of its own that is separate from everything. I want it to affect that inequality, but then integrate with the rest of the community.
I guess that is a concern if you make something which does become dominant, because it's that kind of thing of the bigger the river, the bigger the drought. So if WITA became that kind of dominant force, and then for some reason you had to stop, it would create this kind of vacuum for people who were only in WITA. So that it's kind of like that. There is that double-edged sword,
like Monopoly kind of thing.
It's like if you end up making a Monopoly and then remove it, what happens? Does
true.
Everything fall through?
Yeah, I think that was it with the shop. It's like, well, why would I just sell women's products? Because the thing is, as well, there's a big difference between women in performance and women in the arts.
Yes.
Or like women in art.
Yeah.
And locally, when you look at art fairs and craft fairs, there's actually a lot of it's mainly women.
Yeah.
Doing that kind of thing. So I was like, well, we've got platforms for that locally.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely want to support it, but I don't want to do something else that's already been done, because what's the point in that?
Yeah.
You know, there's platforms for that kind of thing. So the whole point of the Point shop and the whole thing of the project as a whole is to support everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody and anybody wants any support, any creative person. So we've got like bands coming to us, they've got CDs and vinyls and merch, and they've got gigs going on, they want to sell tickets through us. And then we've got like illustrators or people that are doing zines. We're having a zine library, we're having a Lincolnshire zine library, which is going to be awesome. I've got poets that have got like just a couple of books. I'm like, well, I can give you 5. And I'm like, that's cool. Do that then. That'd be cool. So I just kind of want to facilitate a bit of everything and just show the whole community. So you walk into the shop and go, there's loads going on in Lincoln, because I can see it. I've got a visual representation.
Right there,
It's in your face. It's not just a gift shop. It's not just this. It's not just that. It's everything and it's everyone. Yeah. And there's a real variety. So, So I'm kind of like, WITA's slowing down, but the community that we've built, you know, a lot of them are coming on to be volunteers with us and get involved in the shop. Yeah. Because it is a very volunteer-led thing, because I cannot run a shop on my own.
I think in a way it's interesting, a lot of those things of like, especially like with other collectives in the city, of Lincoln's art scene in general is more performance-based. It's a lot of poetry. It's a lot of theatre. Yeah, a lot of theatre. A lot of like various events which will happen. Mm-hmm. But you never see it, but it's much rarer to see something which is just visual. Yeah. Or just kind of comes out and goes, oh, this is, here's some sculpture in town. Yes, or, massively. Here's this, painting which has been done and we're going to put it here. And it's much rarer. And it's strange in a way. It is. I know a local woman called Nell, and she... Is it Nell Wise? No, Nell Arthur. Yeah. She created this installation, and it was... I can't quite remember what it was now, but it was like a typewriter and like typewritten like paper and things, but it was this like huge installation. Right. And I was like, that's incredible. She's like, yeah, it's going to California. I was like, that's amazing, well done. And I was like, have you ever showed it in Lincoln? No, there's no way to show it in Lincoln. I was like, shit, yeah. And I really want to like create some sort of opportunity for her to show it here, because it's just incredible. And I think you're right, like that sort of visual installations and things like that. Yeah. I mean, they could go in the usher. I mean, there could be a space there. There could be a space. I mean, yeah, I'm kind of maybe I don't know. I'm probably the wrong person to talk to about galleries. Yeah. I mean, at the minute I'm trying to contact Lincoln Big. Been trying for 3 weeks. I'll send you some emails. I'll send you get you some links. But it's kind of like one of those things of finding spaces to do things, especially a lot of stuff I want to do. I don't want it in a gallery. Yeah. Because I'm sorry, I don't need a gallery. Yeah. It's art, so art can go anywhere. So fuck it, I'll just put it anywhere. Yeah. But you, especially with independent artists, you find a lot of the time the information to contact people just isn't anywhere. Oh yes. And that's a huge thing. It's like so like performance and stuff is obvious. It's like you go somewhere with a stage, go somewhere where people will be. Mm-hmm. But with visuals, it's like, where do I put this? Yeah, this is going to dominate your area for like a week or two. Mm-hmm. That's another big aspect that I wanted to try and address, because as a person coming in to the arts in Lincoln, when I started with the poetry and wanted to do things with poetry, I was emailing everybody, I was knocking on doors, I was going to meetings and stuff, and just couldn't get anywhere. I was like ringing the council, like, where's the arts department? Like, who's the arts officer? And they're like, there must be somebody.
And there isn't. Even they didn't know. I was like, oh my God, like, and it's so frustrating.
Yeah, you ring up and go, who can I do a performance in the street? Who do I talk to about that? It's like, we don't have anyone for that.
Mm-hmm. They don't know, exactly.
Right. So we just do it?
Yeah, exactly. And then what happens? Yeah. Lincoln Big probably.
Yeah.
But it's taken me a good few years to get my foot in the door with these like organisations and these gatekeepers and to be taken seriously as well. You know, just like, who is this tiny, like, caffeinated hyper woman and what does she want? And I'm just like, I want to do stuff. How do I do stuff? And I think that was it. I just got so fucking bored of asking to do stuff. I was like, I'm just going to do it. Yeah. I'm just going to crack on and do it. And that's the whole thing of the point, is that I'm sick of, like, you know, petitions are great and there's a certain way that you get through red tape and that you apply to things and you do it all and yada, yada, yada. But I can't do that. I can't do it. It's boring. It takes away all the fun. So I'm just like, well, I mean, if we've got a bit of money, if we all chuck in like a tenner, maybe we should just crack on and do it ourselves. Yeah. So that's why we're doing the point on 400 quid. Just over 400 quid. Just like, well, fuck it. We'll just do it then, because if they're going to take away all our spaces and we're going to have nothing left, then maybe we should just do something ourselves and make it like actually for the community.
Yeah. I always find the problem with red tape is that you end up explaining what you want to do, and when you explain it doesn't make sense. It sounds silly. Like
it makes sense to me, and then other people are like,
to an artist, it makes complete sense. Like, you'll go up and say, oh, so I want to do this event. And I'm like, okay, so where do you want to put it on here? It's like, yeah, all right, so what's the charge going to be? Nah, it's going to be free. Yeah. You're like, but surely it must make money. I'm like, no.
To be fair, like, Lincoln Big have been really, really good. Not just because they gave me money. They are genuinely, like, they've been really supportive and really good. It does help. But, like, when I went in to put the proposal forward, I had so much coffee. And I just, like, it was a big boardroom. There's all these amazing people, like, sat round that were, like, the panel. And I was like, sat there and I was like, right, I want to do this and this and this and this, blah, 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 blah. And then I was just like, right, I'll see you later, and just like walked out. And they were like, and I was like, I'm never going to get that. And then they emailed me like, yeah, we're definitely going to go for that. But what was it? Like, again?
What
was the exact thing? And I'm like, I just expect everyone to be able to see what's in my head. Yeah. Which is why I'm a nightmare to... It's one of the reasons I'm a nightmare to work with. Because I'm just like, we'll do this and this and this and that. Like, so is it that? And I'm like, no, why would you think it's that? Can you not see what's in here? Like, sense the project in my mind. Like, I don't write anything down. Yeah. I don't like admin. I don't like anything like that. I'm getting better at it because I know that it's necessary. But I won't do a full like brief and like whole project thing, which gets me into trouble, but I go too fast. Yeah. I can't help it.
I always prefix ideas with, this is going to sound stupid.
Oh no, I never apologise anymore. I'm just like, right, this is what we're going to do.
Just preempting that there's not logic here that you will follow. Because I've jumped 3 steps during this whole process.
Yeah, exactly. So, halfway through a sentence, and then you go on another one, then you come back to it, and then it's just like, oh my God, just a nightmare. I'm like, I know, I'm so sorry. I'll just go and do it. You just sit there, I'll just go and do it, it's fine.
So.
Yeah. But that's the whole thing with the new shop, is that I know I can't do that. Yep. And with WITA, there were a lot of self-imposed limitations because I didn't want to use volunteers. I wanted to pay everybody. Yeah. I wanted it to be sustainable going forward. You know, it was a lot of people offered a lot of help and I didn't want to put them out. Okay. And be like, I was just like, no, because then I feel like I'm exploiting artists if I take free help. Yeah. And I'm like, no, it's fine, I can do it. It's okay. I'll just crack on. That's nice of you and everything, but you've got stuff to do. Like, you're busy. Don't be daft.
It's like, no, this is my cross. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know where WITA would be now with that help. It would be even bigger. Like, it would be scary. But with the shop, it's completely different. I've realised that for something like this to work, to have that community hub for creatives to feel like they've got a place that they can go to find out what's going on, to find out where to go for things like that. Like, like who do I speak to if I want to do this? I can share all that knowledge and information with them and make their lives a bit easier. But to do that, I need a lot of help. And, you know, I mean, people are just absolutely brilliant because I'm just like, guys, I'm going to do this thing. Who's with me? And they're like, yeah well, fuck it. Let's do it. And I'm oh my God, you're awesome. You know, I just put out just like a little call out, like, can anybody do this? And everyone's like, yeah, of course I can. Like, where do you need me to be? When do you need me to be? I'm like, this is brilliant. And I'm shedding that thing of, oh, you can't use volunteers because it's not right. It's like, because if you do that, then you're actually pushing people away. Yeah. You're going, no, you can't be a part of this. Yeah. And that's not my intention. My intention's like, I don't want to put you out. Yeah. But it's also like, well, I want to from be. The outside, I'm offering because I want to be a part of this and I want to be involved and to contribute something. And, you know, we're all skint and, like, none of us can really put any money into anything. So we're like, well, I can design a poster for you, or, you know, I could maybe be in the shop and do this for you, or do this or do this. Yeah. And collectively, we've all got a massive range of skills and we can do some really cool stuff with it. Yeah. And people want to be able to help. They're like, I can't afford to even put a £5 into the pot. And I'm like, yeah, me neither. It's like, but I can do this. I'm like, yeah, cool. So, yeah, it's going to be a huge, huge collective effort without it being a collective.
Which brings me on to my next point.
Just, like, lead you in nicely there.
Yeah, I mean, so this is something I'm kind of looking at, and, like, I mean, I've said it before, and we've kind of covered it in other podcasts. There is a lot of collectives in Lincoln.
I don't know if there's a lot.
Well, there seems to be. Like, from the outside, I can think of 5.
Ooh, who are there? Tell me.
So, obviously, WITA, which isn't necessarily collective.
We're a community.
But it's a community. General practice.
Yes.
Ours and sexy.
Yes.
Outspoken.
yes.
And maybe, I guess I could class Plastic Brain Press, but that's kind of like small press. But it is a group, that's but they do things. But yeah. And what's the one recently? Who do environmental things? Who spray Barclays?
Extinction Rebellion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's kind of like 5 pop up. But what I find interesting about Lincoln is it doesn't. I don't know, in a way, like it lacks the competition. In a way. Mm. So if you think of like another city, or the cities I've been in, when you get other collectives and whatnot, they have a healthy competition between each other. It's like, we're going to put on an event, and then someone will take a piss out of that event, and it'll be, right, we're going to do this. And then it's like, yeah, well, fuck you too. We'll still turn up to your event, and we'll still fully support you, but it's like, there's this healthy, and I hate the word, but banter between it. Whereas
bounce,
in Lincoln, like, Lincoln with that scene, it seems, I mean, from an outside perspective, it seems very sensitive to each other in that people like to keep things contained. Which is why it's interesting when you kind of like get like WITA or the point where things are inclusive. But everyone also says they're very inclusive. But at the same time, I see a lot of divide.
I feel that, so kind of like my entrance point to the art scene was starting a collective. Okay. And I started a poetry collective. And quickly realised that I didn't want to be part of a collective because it was meant to be a group that, sort of like we all got together and performed and practiced and helped each other out, and we wanted to involve the community in poetry and get poetry out there and talk about how Lincoln's a great place for poetry and yada yada yada. And it just became really exclusive really quickly, and I'd go to open mics and I'd see like our group and they're all like, oh yeah, we're all part of this group, and then someone else would perform and suddenly they're not part of this group. So whereas the open mic would be open before, now all of a sudden it's like, oh, we're one of this group, you're not one of us. And that was never my intention. I always wanted everyone to be involved and included. But I started to see the divide that it made, and people stopped coming to the open mic because they weren't part of the group. And they didn't feel that they were welcome. Because of the way that the group kind of identified so strongly and were proud of the fact that they were part of this group and everything, and we were doing really well and we were doing events and everything. But I never wanted it to be an exclusive thing. And so it got to a point that I wasn't comfortable with what it had become, basically. And I said, no, I don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to do it. And so a lot of the divide stems from that situation.
Right.
The fact that I didn't want to do it anymore. And so the people that were part of the group then felt displaced because I took it away.
That's fair.
And which I can understand.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like now a root cause of a lot of the divide happening even currently, even though that was like 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
Do you think there's a place in Lincoln for healthy competition with the arts?
It's frustrating because I haven't got, like, there's nobody in Lincoln that I won't sit down with and have a cup of coffee or a drink with and chat with and help out if I can. Mm-hmm. I don't want to, I don't hold any grudges. I'm too busy, I'm too focused on the future and what we're working towards and the bigger picture.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to focus on that 5% that have a problem with me and that will always have a problem with me.
Yeah.
I'm focused on the 95% and moving forward.
Yeah.
I think that it's good to have different collectives and different groups and organisations because they facilitate a certain aspect of the arts community. It might not be an aspect that I enjoy or that I feel at home in, but that doesn't mean to say it's not needed.
No.
You know, there's all different kinds of artists that all have different values and goals, and what I do might not work for them.
Yeah.
And that's fine. That's cool. And there's other groups that do work for them, and that's cool.
Yeah.
So everything's got its place. So I don't see it as like, oh, we directly are competing with each other. It's just like you facilitate that part and I kind of facilitate that part. Sometimes it crosses over.
Yeah.
And if we can help each other, we can help each other. And I think with the sort of like threatened closures and all that kind of stuff at the moment, that the art scene has come together a lot more. They've been like, cool, let's just like put our pitchforks down and let's like crack on because actually there's bigger things at stake.
I do think the closure thing's kind of, it caused a panic reaction in quite a few people.
I think because it was just so successive, like with so many things just happening all at once. And it was like, whoa, where's this all come from? Like it seemed really
in a way it seemed like
urgent.
People became, I mean, even, at least for a month or so, people became super protective. Like all of a sudden it was like, if everything's closing, what if we have to close? Oh, we have to huddle in, you know, instead of just going, oh, we can spread this out and still continue as we are or do our own thing sort of thing.
I think because you just get used to it. You just get used to cuts and you get used to it being difficult in the arts.
Yeah.
And venues struggling and artists struggling. You're just like, yeah, I know. It's just like part of it. And it's shit. And I don't know why we do it, but we do it anyway. Apparently we love it.
I remember chatting to someone the other day and it was like, oh, no, it's really hard to be. And I was like, the arts. And I was like, when was it ever easy? I don't recall a time when art was easy.
No, don't. And if it is easy, you're doing it wrong. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I think that's it. I think people are just like, yeah, we're used to a certain amount. And it's like, cool, we're just going to take this away. And you're like, oh, for fuck's sake. And you're like, oh, we're just going to take this away as well. And you're like, are you fucking kidding? And then they tried to take the brew. And I was like, right, that's it. I'm not having it. This is not right. That's my bloody pub. Yep. So, there's a snapping point for everybody. And I think it just happened in such quick succession that everyone was hit.
Yeah.
And they're like, actually, if we just do nothing and we just go, then, well, everything's going to go. Yeah. And future generations and everything, like, they haven't got that platform. And so we need to either create new platforms, we need to save existing platforms, but I think we need to change existing platforms as well. Yeah. Because they clearly don't work. They need to be modernised and work better for the community.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of, so like with the Usher Gallery, I'm one of those people who, I don't think we should save the Usher Gallery. Because I'm like, it's broken.
Yeah.
It's in the state it's in, I wouldn't keep it. And so it's like, I kind of sit there and go, well, we could save it. Or you could just do something else. And you could just make a new gallery or not use a gallery. Because to me, I mean, I'm one of those, I mean, everyone knows, I'm concept led. So I look at it as like, Yeah, art will still be art.
Yeah.
Like, this is what forces art.
Going.
It's like, you remove all these things and people go, oh, well, because of future generations and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, yeah, but it'll still happen.
Yeah.
Because someone will be sat in their bedroom and go, you know what, fuck this.
Yeah, art will always be art, no matter what.
It'll always survive. Yeah. So as much as it's not public facing,
it
will persist, and that's what I focus on rather than the venues. I
guess the usher, the usher is like, for me, it's more of a visitor space.
Okay, yeah.
It's difficult, but yeah, I think it needs to be massively modernised. Yeah. I think it needs to be run partly by the local arts community, and it needs to be more modern, it needs to take more risks, it needs to showcase local work, and it needs to offer a lot more than it currently does.
You want risk in Lincoln?
Exactly. No, I do want fucking risk in Lincoln.
Doesn't happen in
Lincoln.
know.
Like, for the new shop, I'm like, guys, I don't give a shit what your art's about. If it's like sweary and naked and everything, just get it in there. Like, I know people that are doing incredible stuff, but that's like risque, and they can't sell it anywhere in Lincoln, and that's ridiculous. So I'm like, well, just sell it in the flipping shop. I don't care.
Lincoln venues don't take risks.
I want people to take
risks.
This
is why we have no pubs.
I don't want people to take risks just for I take risks and I'm going to be controversial because I can be. What are you going to do about it? Like, no, just shut up. Yeah. But like, if you want to take risks and you want to express something that is, maybe not of popular opinion or is a bit risque or whatever, then like you should be able to do that. And there should be an outlet for that. And hopefully the point will be. But like, we're so backwards in so many ways, but we're so forward thinking in so many ways. Yeah. And I think that's the divide in Lincoln. There's everybody that's like, it's all about history and the cathedral and like, let's draw pictures of the cathedral. No offence. But I've seen a lot of pictures of the cathedral. We know it's there.
I'll give some offence.
It exists. It exists. We get it. It's lovely.
Stop photographing swans.
Yeah. Swans and cathedrals and castles. We're not just about that, guys.
World War II happened. We're past it.
We've done it, all right? We want new stuff, and there's such a vibrant, energetic, young community of creatives that come to the city or that live in the city that are doing cool stuff, and then they fuck off because they're like, well, Lincoln's not the place to do it.
Again, it comes back to that red tape.
Yeah.
It comes back to, you look at it and you go, yeah, this is a hugely, like, there's so much going on. Mm-hmm. But I can't adhere that to the Lincoln structure. Because the Lincoln structure doesn't suit it. Yeah. So then it's like, all right, well, you can only do it for so long. Yeah. And then.
Although, there is, like I said, there is that existing energy.
Yeah.
And a lot of it, not a lot of it, but a good portion is student based. And.
Is it though? Because this is what I said when I had Georgia on. It's like, I haven't seen students.
Because they're in the university bubble, and I'm like, guys, come on, there's cool shit out here.
I don't understand that in students.
Because for them, they're like, well, there's nothing going on in Lincoln, so why would I?
What happened to rebellious students?
And they're just, we don't facilitate them.
Do you need to facilitate? I thought student rebellion was just meant to be they come and do it.
They're just knackered. They're busy studying.
It's like with the spray paint backwards the other day. I was so happy. I was just like, I looked at it, I was like, well, it's crap spray painting, but at least someone's done something.
Yeah, I think, I don't know, we've had a good student response for the shop so far, which is very encouraging.
I imagine you'll get a lot of young people who want to sell their work and kind of come forward out of it,
Because I think people that are producing exciting work, I just don't think there's the platform there at the moment. And, there's a big class divide. Definitely. And there's a lot of snobbery. I'm going to piss off so many people. I'm just getting used to pissing off people now. I just do it all the time. There is a lot of snobbery. And there's a lot of like, that's not quite tasteful enough for us. And I'm like, good.
That's the point.
I want to lower the taste level. I don't think... It feels like there's only kind of one accepted kind of approach and style and... that's like widely accepted in Lincoln, and there's a lot of platforms for that.
I don't know, so to kind of bring it to kind of like a round out, I don't know if you'd agree, right? But I think the way collectives and artists fail in Lincoln is by trying to adhere to the Lincoln structure. It's like you can come up with a great idea and you can kind of push through and go, I've got this brilliant idea and it's going to be this, this and this, and it can be the most random rebellious thing. But at some point, they kind of lose that little sight of it and go, well, if I just adjust it, we can go in this venue. If I just adjust it, the council support me.
Yeah, exactly.
Rather than just holding on to that idea and going, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
The idea is the matter.
Yeah, like the Lincoln structure and also the national structure.
Yes.
Which is why we still haven't applied for Arts Council funding for WITA. So I'm just like, no, we're going to do it ourselves, because as soon as you put limitations on it, then you are pandering to those rules and you want things to be autonomous and to be free to develop as they wish, and you don't have to worry about, oh, well, what are the funders going to think of this? Maybe it's a bit too risque for them. Like, and to be fair, Arts Council are pretty good with that stuff anyway, but it's just the point of it. Yeah. But I think that, it's easy to lose sight of your main objective and why you're doing something. And as soon as you get mixed up in any sort of like drama or white noise and funding and money and all that crap, you like completely move away from the central reason why you started something. Yeah. And also, sometimes the parameters develop and, you're like, well, do I need to do this anymore? Am I doing it just because that's what I do? Yeah. Like, well, is it needed? Yeah. Do I need to do this? Well, maybe I don't. Maybe it's already actually all right. Oh, I'll do something else then. Yeah. Oh no, I can't do anything else because I'm attached to this and this is me.
I've become this now and this is what I'm doing.
Yeah. So you need to adapt. You need to be able to look at the community and see what it needs. Yeah. Or as an artist, your opinions change, hopefully, or, you develop and you want to try something new. Yeah. And I think that the way, to use your term, that collectives fail in Lincoln, or don't, depends what your definition of failure and success is. Yeah. But I think that there was a lot of exclusivity that seems to be being opened up now, which is really good. And that's the only way forward. That is the only way forward, is that even if we don't agree with each other, even if we have that banter, that we go, you're doing a thing, that's cool. I'll throw people your way, you throw people my way. We'll do our best for the scene as a whole, but we probably won't work together because we'll probably kill each other. Like, that's fine. That's fine.
In a way, it's like, it comes down to, I feel like people need to learn to laugh at each other again. Yeah. And it's gotten to that point, because there has been so much kind of like bits and bobs and all that kind of stuff. It's like, every so often you just kind of go, well, we are ridiculous. Yeah. We're artists. That was the point, to be ridiculous and push each other's buttons.
Is it though?
And well, I mean, what's the point in art if it doesn't push buttons?
Yeah, but do we need to push each other's buttons?
Every so often.
Feels weird now. I did have a conversation a couple of years ago with someone, and I said, look, let's just push everything aside. Yeah. Let's just crack on. Let's be mates, because what's the point? We're both doing the same thing. Like, let's just crack on. And they were like, nothing wrong with a bit of friendly competition. Yeah. And I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. Like, can we not just get along? But that's past is past, and current is a lot better. Yeah. And there's definitely a lot of conversations going on with a lot of people, and it's kind of like we can laugh at a lot of stuff now. There's a few people that are like, I will never laugh at this, and this is the worst thing that's ever happened in my life. Yeah. But in general, there's a lot more communication going on.
And I think that's the important bit.
Yeah.
It's like you can poke each other, but as long as you're still coming up to each other and going,
I think when you get passionate people that are trying to do stuff, and, idealists, which, let's face it, a lot of us are, try not to be as, like, stringent with it anymore. I'm just like, everyone's got their own thing. Yeah. But when you get all those people together... Yeah. And you're all fighting for the same thing, but you're so like, no, this is the way to fight for that thing. This is the way. And you're like, oh, for fuck, this is ridiculous. Yeah. So I'm trying to lay back with that.
Try to relax.
And that's where it helps, when I can just walk across the field and there's animals and like water and whatever. And I'm just like, it all doesn't matter. I have perspective, and I can see the cathedral like in a real distance, and I'm like, I've got perspective.
Yeah.
And when you get stuck in all that daft stuff, I can step away from it and go, it doesn't matter, does it? Does it really matter? No. In the bigger picture of things, we're all doing the same thing, and like, just move forward. Yeah. Positivity.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I think when I had, who was it? Oh God, he's going to annoy me. The writer Dan came on.
Dan Wilcox.
Dan Wilcox.
Hi, Dan.
When Dan was on, we kind of had this discussion of we're two very different artists. He was like, I'm very methodical. I write my books, and it's like, and you're a bit more of the starving artist. And I was like, I can agree with that. But at the same time, it's like we can take shots at each other for that.
Yeah.
But at the end of it, we're just still going to sit down because we still make art.
Yeah, exactly.
It's still,
Yeah, exactly. Everyone does it differently.
Yes.
And if everyone did it the same,
but I think that's, you have to appreciate that.
Yeah,
I think it's definitely a point of you kind of come along and go, everyone's doing it differently. It's not the way I'd do it.
Yeah, exactly.
But they're still doing it.
I think it's just that it depends, like people can construed ways that people are and things like that, and will interpret it and take it personally and things like that. That's when it's like ends up in a
kerfuffle.
Yeah, love that word, kerfuffle. And it's like, but it just art means a lot to people.
It does.
Emotions are involved,
Emotions
and
are
so
always high
you're gonna, we're all emotionally charged, ridiculous human beings that will fall out over ridiculous things, and it's just like it'll happen, But we're all focused. As long as we all can see the bigger picture, and are working towards it, then it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. I'm hoping it'll come together.
It will.
I mean, this is the thing. Like, I like projects like The Point and whatnot, and like, I mean, went to a networking thing the other day, so I like these little things.
Did you go to that? Because I did go to that, but I left.
Did you leave really early?
I didn't leave really early, like halfway
late.
through. You must have I just must have missed you. Yeah, I found it a bit difficult.
I turned up late because I couldn't convince myself to go. Because I was meant to go with a friend, and then the friend dropped out. Ooh. And I was like...
Networking on your own.
I got to turn up to a group of people I don't know. I'm like, fuck that.
I know.
And then I eventually just went. So.
Everyone that turned up was like really anxiety ridden, and I'm like, I can't. My anxiety kicked in, and I was like, a few people that was like unresolved issues and stuff there, and I was like, I'm so tired and I feel awkward, and I don't want to feel awkward, I just want to go home and lay in bed. But it was nice, it was good, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. It was good use of the space as well. I like that space for the craft, and it's good to see people gathering together, and like saw a lot of new people that I've never seen before.
I thought that
which
as
was
well.
great.
Yeah, it was an interesting mix of people.
Yeah, definitely, and I think that definitely things like that need to continue. It's just like if I'm not running something and my anxiety takes hold, then I can escape.
Yes,
and my body's like, hey, we can go because you're not running this show, so if you feel anxious, you should probably just go home. And then whereas if I'm running the show, I'm like, you can't leave, so you have to do it. Yeah. And that pushes me past my anxiety. Yeah. And then I feel great afterwards. So...
See, I think I'm kind of the opposite. Like, I turn up to events and I'm like, I don't need to feel anxious because none of this affects me. I can just be here.
I just get really hyper-aware of everything.
I went on autopilot to attend it. Basically, I was just like, what do I have to do? It's like, I just have to walk to craft. I was like... Cool.
Just do it in like stages, I was
watching across, I was like, all I have to do is walk in. I'm like, cool, walk in, head to the bar, and now we're just going to go walk over there. Like, yep, this works.
Did they have a bit, because I wasn't sure what I like the sort of structure of it, did they have a bit where people kind of like spoke individually to the group or anything like that?
It was more just kind of like a group, or at least it might have been earlier.
Yeah.
People were wearing name badges, and I didn't wear a name badge.
It's supposed to be like what you do or what you want.
Yeah, I didn't pick any, because I turned up late.
Yeah, that's fair enough. But I thought it was cool, and I think... I think Art Isn't Sexy are opening up a lot more to the community and seem really more supportive of the community as a whole, and I'm really on board with that. I think Rupert is doing some great stuff. I've had a few chats with him and everything, and they've been really supportive of WITA and the new shop and things like that, and it's it feels like there's a bit of we've got the distance still, but we both respect and support each other. Yeah. And I think, if we can do that with a lot more organisations and things.
It'll be good.
It'll be great.
It'll be good. Well, I look forward to it.
Future's bright.
We'll have you back in a year.
If
again.
I'm alive.
Well, I mean, I always say that. I'm still sat here.
That's true. We've made it this far.
But what have you got coming up soon? Because I did figure out that this will go up in a couple of weeks.
What date-ish?
I have my phone. I do have a calendar for this because so next week there's no video. Week after is a solo video, which should be the 26th that it went up.
26th.
Yeah.
So the shop's launching on the 20th.
Okay.
So this will be 6 days after the shop launch.
It'll be live and prime.
So I don't know. I don't know what will happen. I'm really just like the shop. There is no cemented plans as such.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ideas and a lot of things that we're going to try and a lot of things that other people are going to get involved and try. So I
guess with a shop there's no real end point, whereas like an event you're like, the event ends.
I was like, the event's continuous. Like it's a 3-month pop-up shop, so there is an end point.
Okay.
But I was like, it's just one continuous event for 3 months. How am I going to survive? So I don't know. The shop's open, so go and see it. It's just off the top of the high street. So where you're looking at the Curiosity shop, you just turn left down that road and we're right there. It's the old Beehive shop. So yeah, I'll just be in full swing of that really. I have no other events or plans. Oh wait, no, May the 5th or 1st, whichever's the first Wednesday of the month.
Okay.
I'm headlining Uncaged.
I think that's the first.
At the Birdcage.
Because the 5th is a weekend.
Yeah, I think it's the 1st. I think it's the 1st. 1st of May.
Yeah.
So I will be performing then, which will be nice. But other than that, it's just shop. Cool. And who knows what will happen. I don't know. It's exciting and terrifying in equal measure, which is basically
exactly
just
how it
my
should
life.
be. Yeah. If it wasn't, what would be the point?
The point, exactly.
And on that pun,
hey,
we shall call it that.
Always end on a pun.
Well, thank you for coming, Gem.
Thanks for
It's nice to see you. Yeah, we'll have you back in a year.
Cheers.
Yeah, and there we go. We'll talk to you guys later.